Hello there and welcome back to another video. Now, by the title of this one, it's going to feature heavily Joe Gomez. And what I'm going to do at the moment is I'm going to look up his injury record. Now, I do not want this to be an overly negative video. I really don't, and I'm being honest with that one. It's unfortunate. I wanted to make this video a couple of days ago, about maybe even a couple of weeks ago as well. And then obviously I thought, right, it's the international break. We'll get some time to do it there. And yeah, obviously he's not had a good week this week. What has gone on, obviously, against Manchester City, and also what has happened in the England game. Following on from that, the incident in training, all that sort of business. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but I also mainly want to focus on the fact that his injury record that he has while he's been at Liverpool. Now, oh God, it's actually a little bit worse than I thought. Right, so my point will be, I'm going to get to that point later because I think I've got to cover this first. Right, so when he came to us, and I think I remember this one as well. I think like a game or so before, he had Mesut Ozil in his back pocket, played against Arsenal. In the 2015-16 season, he suffered a cruciate ligament injury, which kept him out from the 12th of October 2015 right the way through to the 2nd of June 2016. He missed 52 games for Liverpool. 16-17, he missed 15 games with an Achilles tendon problem. And then in 17-18 season, ankle injury, March 23rd until the 20th of April, missed 5 games. And then he had ankle surgery from the 8th of May, July the 1st. He missed 2 games, which was going to be the end of the season then. And then 18-19 season, which was obviously last season, got injured 5th of December, came back at the 5th of April, or there or thereabouts, and he missed 23 games. Now, he's got another injury away from, he's on England duty, picked up an injury, and has been sent back to Liverpool. He's been sent back with Henderson, who's suffering from illness, but he's picked up some sort of knock in training, whether it is just a knock. When it's a knock with Joe Gomez, it tends to lead to something. And I am not criticising Joe Gomez as a player or as a person. You cannot control how your body is built, really, like down to the nitty gritty. You can build the muscles, you can strengthen the tendons and stuff like that to a point. But in terms of how your body is actually built and how it reacts to such intense physical endurance and what they go through, week in, week out in football games and stuff like that, you say that, anyone can turn around and say they've got a very privileged lifestyle to be able to play as a footballer, but at the same time, you've also got to look at, they go through a lot of physical, tough things. Not like football decades ago, where it was, you're going to be coming up against a Graham Souness or a Roy Keane, and you're going to risk the fact that they might break your soul. That's what they were looking to do. My concern with Joe Gomez, at the age of 22 that he is now, last season, when it was the Van Dijk and Gomez partnership, unreal. Unbelievable. Fantastic defender. Brilliant. Got injured, obviously Joel Matip came in, did the business and did what he did. He was magnificent all season. Since he's come back from injury, hasn't necessarily looked like the same player. It's a long injury. Maybe hasn't had the intense game time that you'd need to get back into the swing of things. Sort of like Alisson has in goal. He was out for a while, good couple of months this season. He's come back in, didn't necessarily look 100%, but he was still very, very good. He's now getting back to 100%. Same thing with Oxlade-Chamberlain. You're now seeing that with proper rehabilitation, he's now coming back and he's providing for the squad and also providing for England. The thing with Joe Gomez is, once he gets to his best, gets back to his best, and we saw what his best was at the start of the 18-19 season and how good he was. It was like clean sheet FC, which is like a mirror opposite this season, but even so, he was very, 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 very good. And when he gets to his best, tends to be when he gets injured. It really is. When he has his best performances, it then is followed by an injury. I'm not saying, and I am not suggesting, that Liverpool should be looking to move him on. He's 22 years old, he's a fantastic talent. But is it time to also bring in possibly another defender? Now, in my mind's eye, the way I look at things, and obviously I'm glad we didn't get rid of him this season, obviously with the injuries to Joe Gomez and the injury to Joel Matip, but Lovren, the shelf life of Lovren at Liverpool, like the sands of time are nearly out, in my mind. Klopp and that might have a completely different idea, but in my mind, the sands of time are dwindling, and this season I would see as Lovren's last at Liverpool. In some ways, I think he's overstayed his welcome, but I cannot criticise him recently because he's been very, very good. He has. He's been very good. Manchester City game was a standout for Lovren. But I do see him being moved on in the summer. Now, you move him on, you keep Gomez, keep Matip, obviously you keep Van Dijk, and then you bring in someone that's going to give either that competition and that security for us as well. Obviously, Joel Matip, isn't the most... He is quite... I want to say he's not massively injury prone, but he is prone to getting an injury that will keep him out for at least 3 weeks, almost every season. Joe Gomez, on the other hand, when he gets an injury, tends to miss a season. I go back, 15-16, he was out for 234 days, which is like 3/4 of a year, missed 52 games in total. 18-19 season, gets the ankle surgery, gets the ankle injury, and ankle, Achilles. These seem to be key areas in the same area. I am not the best with body anatomy and all that sort of. I'm not at all. I'm not going to pretend that I am, but they seem to be in similar sorts of areas, and it seems like a problem area for Joe Gomez. Is this a hereditary thing? Is it something that's passed down? You never know. Like Sturridge always had hip injuries and stuff like that, and then he'd go back and he says, well, I think one of his family members or something like that had similar, and it was just an ongoing issue. We've had them with Daniel Sturridge, obviously missed way more than Joe Gomez has, but Joe Gomez is very, very young. He's got potential to be an incredible centre-back. He really has. Someone that could be in the Liverpool defence for the next 6, 7, 8 years if he stays fit. And I truly mean that. Whether he's partnering Van Dijk or partnering Matip, whoever, I genuinely think he could be in there for a long, long time. But the injury record somehow needs to improve. Otherwise, if you have another season like this, like say next season, whatever, or whenever he comes back from this current injury he's just got from England, he will have to start thinking, and Liverpool will as well, do we keep playing the risk game? Maybe he won't get injured this season. We won't go and buy someone. Or do we keep him around and bring someone in anyway? It's difficult for me. I actually don't like talking about this sort of subject about someone like Joe Gomez because I think he's a fantastic player, and I don't want to talk about replacing Joe Gomez. And I'm taking into consideration all the things he's gone through this week have been really unfortunate and terrible. But aside from that, and trying to put that to the side, and I'm not piling on him at all, eventually it seriously will have to get looked at. The injury record will need to be looked at, and if it carries on, eventually may have to get moved on. Or at least bring in someone that's going to give either good ample competition for him and also give him time out to rest. If it's one of those players where it's like you can play a good run of games, but then you're going to pick up a risk in an injury at some point, you're going to have to know when to rest these players and have a good ample backup there as well. The side note to that is to bring in a quality centre-back that wants to play a bit-part role in between Joe Gomez, it's very, very difficult, and Joel Matip as well, and whatever happens with Lovren. It's more of a discussion point. And if you guys have got any thoughts whatsoever, let me know it in the comments below. I'm hoping that this hasn't come across as like a disrespectful video. It's just thoughts that I'm having. Like, it's when it came out and said that Joe Gomez has been sent home with Jordan Henderson because he's got an injury. Henderson's ill, and he's picked up another injury. It's a serious enough injury for him to be sent back to Liverpool, so he's obviously not going to be playing in the next England game. What does that now mean for Joe Gomez, and is it going to be a long injury? If so, what do Liverpool do in the long term? Let me know in the comments below what you think as well. I don't want it to be a negative video, it's just thoughts. I don't want it to be like, oh my god, Joe Gomez out. None of that. I'm just getting thoughts off my mind onto a video. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and any thoughts that you might have them in there. Thank you ever so much for watching this video, and if you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you once again, and I'll catch you later.